progress to a different ending of the story. Alright, let's start. Due to its geography location, the sun rises very early in Wonhan City, even this season. I checked the time and see that it's now 7:15 a.m. The sky is already very bright and the sun feels warm on my body. Many diligent white-collar workers have also begun their journey through the morning rush hour. Siri! Omu! Siri, Omu and I are seated eating breakfast quietly at the food stall across the street from the entrance of the warehouse. They are both quiet people, and their calm demeanor makes me feel like I'm the only one who is feeling nervous about upcoming mission. Oh. Hey, do you two think our mission will be successful today? It's broad daylight, and quite a lot of people are coming and going around here. Will we really be able to sneak in? As the saying goes, it's easier to do this type of thing on a dark and windy night. We're so typical. Almost said, everything's rests on Shinjukara. Do you think the boss said that he would distract the guards and get their attention? I wonder how this preparation went.
Chief, 2 large bowls of wonton with extra cilantro. Ew!
Guys, sorry if this is a hot take. I cannot eat cilantro. Do you know there's like two type of people? People who could eat cilantro and people who cannot eat cilantro. And apparently the people who cannot eat cilantro is not by choice. It's in their genes. Like in their genes, they just cannot accept cilantros. Yes. So that's one fun fact for you guys, okay? And I am those kind of people. Yeah, I am with the genes that cannot eat cilantro. So all my family actually cannot eat cilantros. So it is in the genes, okay? In the genes. Alright, continue. While we discuss whether we can infiltrate the warehouse, 2 people wearing the same uniforms as the security guards to the warehouse across the street sit down next to us. After ever dropping hey, too many. Eavesdropping on their conversation with the stall owner, we learned that the older man is called Tora and the younger man is called Boo. That's a cute name, Boo. They have come here to have breakfast before changing shifts with the guards across the street, which means we will have to follow them when we try to sneak inside later. After thinking of this, I focus all my attention on their conversation to try to find something that we can use. Tora said,
Boo, you don't look well today. Is anything wrong? Did you not sleep well last night?
Boo said,
Don't mention that. I didn't sleep at all last night. Haha, you young people sure do party hard. Take care of yourself though.
Tora, please don't make fun of me. The fatty and the others would tease me forever if they heard about it.
Fine then. Well, what happened?
Do you know that the place I'm renting isn't very soundproof?
Yeah, you mentioned it before.
Last night, a group of brats appeared from nowhere and just had play a spirit summoning game in the room next to me in the middle of the night. Then they told ghost stories all. They then told. Oh my god, I can't speak properly. They then told ghost stories there all night long.
You're an adult now. How can you still be scared of ghosts? Don't be so superstitious.
I glance at them from the corner of my eye and see that Boo seems to be living some horrifying memories. He His face is pale and I can see fear in his eyes. And his name is Boo. How ironically that his name is Boo.
The problem isn't the horror story but the spirit summoning game called Candle Circle that they were playing. In this game, a group of people sit down in a circle and takes turns telling ghost stories. Each person lights up the candle in their hand before starting and blows it out after telling their story. But if the candle goes out while they're telling the story, something bad will happen.
Ooh, okay.
You know the details so well. Then it's almost as if you were playing with them. It's because they were so loud. I was filled with despair because I couldn't do anything about it. Okay, I understand. What ghost stories did they tell?
Tora at the table next to me just said what I was thinking. When I heard Brute start telling ghost stories, I also became interested. Interested. Siri looked at me and seems to realize something. She smiles and shakes her head, but she also puts down the spoon in her hand and starts to observe the table next to us.
There were so many. For example, one story was about a man called Jack and his girlfriend Mari. Their class was about to fly overseas for their graduation trip. However, the moment he got out of the plane, Jack felt dizzy and saw something incredible. The plane would explode after taking off.
Oh my god.
The story isn't scary, even sounds a little familiar. I think I've read about it somewhere.
Isn't this like Final Destination? Hello, hi Lynn. Hello. Welcome back to my stream. Well, I just finished playing the Mahjong, so I'm reading the story from for the event.
I'll tell you another one. This one left quite an impression on me. There was a woman called Mari, and her husband was a taxi driver called Jack. One day, Mari suddenly woke up in the middle of the night and realized that Jack had already come home. However, instead of going to bed, he was squatting on the balcony alone and looking down.
Why is it always Mari and Jack?
Out of curiosity, Mari asked him what he was doing. However, she didn't expect Jack to mysteriously pull her to the balcony and whisper to her, "Look at our car. Can you see a woman in red clothes in the back seat?" At first, Mari thought Jack was imagining things, but when she looked down, she really did see a woman in red clothes holding a child in the back seat of their taxi. And then Mari looked at her. The woman suddenly turned her head and looked directly at Mari through the car window. They were living on the 10th floor, and it was the middle of the night. It's already quite incredible that they could see the car, let alone see someone sitting inside the car. Mari was so frightened that she fainted, and it was already the next day when she woke up. She told Jack what happened last night, but he didn't seem to remember anything. He told her that she had a nightmare because she was worrying about too many things during the date. After that, Mari also treated this as a nightmare. A few days later, Mari reheats Jack's dinner for him because he comes home late. But his meal is getting cold again. He still hasn't come to the dining room. One day, Mari went to their bedroom to look for Jack. As soon as she opened the bedroom door, she saw Jack sitting on the railing of the balcony. He gave Mari a strange smile and muttered, "They are calling me. They are calling me." After that, he turned around and fell off the building. Later, Mari learned from the taxi company's employee who visited her to express their condolences that the car of the company arranged for Jack to drive has been involved in a car accident and killed a pregnant woman. At night, after Mari sees off everyone who had come to express their condolences, she walks to the balcony of the bedroom and looks down. She sees a woman in red clothes with a child in her arm, standing in the open space downstairs, and Jack is standing next to her. Jack waves at Mari and says, "Mari, come join us." Well, this one is scary, right? I started dreaming of the red clothes whenever I closed my eyes last night. I guess this one is okay. It has a retro horror story feeling to it, but I just don't get why all female ghosts have to wear red clothes. Tora, I won't talk to you anymore if you keep saying things like that. I'm scared to death here, and you're just picking on me. Hey, I just wanted to divert your attention. So, you were scared by this? No, something scarier happened after that. They tell another 7 or 8 stories like that. Then suddenly, it becomes completely silent in the room next door. Out of curiosity, I put my ear against the wall to listen carefully. It was so quiet on the other side that it seems like everyone had disappeared into thin air. Just as I was about to go back to bed, I heard several loud banging sounds. It was like someone was smashing the wall forcefully, and then I heard a man scream. A scream? What did he say when he was screaming?
Boo's voice trembles like he is extremely distressed, which makes me feel the most curious I have ever been in my life.
This man has a strong local accent. I couldn't understand what he was shouting. It was just felt miserable, extremely miserable. But I think I heard him say, "Don't come over here." I'm not sure if that's what he said exactly. The screaming continued for a while and the room next to me became quiet. I couldn't hear anyone speaking anymore. Tora, you know, I'm a timid person. There's no way I would dare to go over to take a look. So I covered my head and waited until dawn. When I walked past the room next to mine in the morning today, I saw talisman paper densely pasted on the door. Talisman paper? What does it look like? It's like the yellow paper we see in those exorcist movies. I didn't dare to take a closer look. I was too scared. I quickly made my way to work without taking a closer look.
After dropping on their conversation, I lean over towards Siri and start discussing things with her in a quiet voice. Even luck is on our side. The horror stories are doing us a favor. Something feels fishy about this to me. What do you mean? Well, I think it's too much of a coincidence. Tora finishes off his breakfast very quickly and puts down his bowl and chopsticks after about 10 minutes. Meanwhile, Boo is obviously worn out after the events of the previous night. He barely has 2 bites before he stands and follows Tora to cross the street and change shifts with their colleagues. Siri and I exchanging glances. We stand up in a hurry to get Omu to join us when we follow them. However, all 3 of us stop at the same time when we are about 5 meters away from the warehouse door. The 4 security guards at the warehouse door are completing the procedure to change shifts, and I don't think we can just waltz in like that.
Don't come over here.
Suddenly, a miserable male voice disrupts the peaceful atmosphere of the early morning. It was so sudden that we can't even tell where it came from. Boo pauses for a moment, then he grabs Tora's hand and shouts emotionally.
That's him! That's him! That's the voice I heard! Ah! Don't come over here!
The two security guards who are changing shifts with them obviously have no idea about what's going on. To prevent Boo's strange behavior from attracting an audience, they quickly tape Boo behind the shrubs next to the door with Tora, leaving the warehouse door half open and completely defenseless in front of us. What? Someone is helping us? Suicide grabs my hand and takes this opportunity to sneak through the warehouse door. Omu follows us quickly, and three of us run behind some shelves on the corner of the warehouse to hide. Before long, the security guards outside seem to manage to calm Boo down and finish changing shifts. Through the gaps of the shelves, we vaguely see a person that looks like Tora walk over and slam the warehouse door shut. That miserable male voice sounds so familiar. Could it be Shinjukara's voice? It should be Shinjukara. Didn't the boss tell him to sow confusion for us? Does that mean Shinjukara is also responsible for terrifying the security guard called Boo last night?
Now that you mention it, Shinjukara did leave mysteriously with some of our brothers last night.
I didn't expect someone who looks a little slow-witted like Shinjukara to be able to plan their hair like this. I take a look at the warehouse while I talk. The incandescent lamp on the ceiling looks old. The lighting isn't very bright, and it doesn't stop us from seeing the general layout clearly. This warehouse doesn't have an open layout that allows people to see where goods are stored clearly. This is even a wall. There is even a wall close to us.
This is a small warehouse that has been rented out, and I stocked out this place yesterday. I managed to get my hands on the floor plan from the reception.
As he speaks, he pulled out a floor plan from his backpack and hands it to us. Hands it to us. In the dim lighting, we confirm where we are first. Judging from where the gate is, we should be in the southeast corner of the warehouse. The layout of the warehouse is like a big square with a smaller squares inside, and only the area in the middle is really used for storage. This area is further divided into 8 spaces of varying sizes. The layout of the warehouse is like a big square with a small square inside it, and the outer layer we're in is the corner between the 2 squares that connects different warehouse stores. The corner also used to store miscellaneous items and unimportant goods.
The red crowded crane you're looking for should be in one of these warehouses, but I'm not sure which one is the right one.
Shush! I heard footsteps coming towards us.
It should be the patrolling security guards.
Shall we observe their security patrol before deciding what to do? Yes, we will observe their patrol patterns before taking action. We squat patiently in the corner and take our time to observe everything that's happening in the warehouse. We notice that the security guard have fixed patrol routine and go to patrol once every half an hour, and 4 guards divided themselves into 2 groups to start patrolling in opposite directions. They will meet once near another entrance on the southwest side before they continue to move forward separately. The 2 people coming towards us will go around the northeast corner. southeast corner, northeast corner, before disappearing from our sight.
This warehouse should have 4 sets of doors. They probably came in from the side doors on the northeast side.
After squatting for about 45 minutes, after the security guards disappeared from our sight on their second patrol, Siri and Omu coincidentally stand up at the same time.
We can start now.
Oh, okay. After hearing Siri's words, I stand up quickly and tend to follow them. To my surprise, I black out momentarily right after I stand up and almost fell over. Fortunately, Siri managed to catch me in time. I've been squatting for too long. Siri helps me stand, then she pats my shoulder and says something sincerely. It looks like I need to do more exercise with you later. That's not necessary, really. My blood pressure is just a little low after squatting for so long. In Wonhan City, the number of people who want to take me hiking, to the beach, and to training camp is large enough to form a team. Which really makes me feel the goodwill of this city. Oh my gosh. However, I turned down Siri's kind offer so that I don't end up exercising 24 hours a day. After walking out from behind the shelves, we arrive at the storage area in the middle. There are 2 doors really close to us. The warehouse door on our left is slightly closer to us. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and it is locked with a chain that has been wrapped twice around the steel door bolt. This form of defense is solid and down to earth. The warehouse door on our right is slightly further away from us. It is installed with an electronic code lock, and this warehouse looks like a place where valuables are stored. Okay.
Pick one of them. If we're lucky, we'll find them immediately.
Since we are using this place to imprison wild animals, I choose the right side, I think. The wild animals should be the most valuable goods of this organization, so I think they'll be kept in the more tightly guarded warehouse. I think it should be the electronic lock on the right. I don't know, I'm just guessing. I agree with you then, since I don't know which one is the right either.
I don't mind since I'll still be picking a lock anyway.
Do you need me and Siri to keep watch for you?
No.
In this short time we've been talking, I see that Omo has already taken out a roll of transparent tape. He pulls off a piece that lightly presses on to the number pad attached to the wall beside the door. After sweeping it back and forth with his palm a few times, he peels off the transparent tape and holds it up to the light. I can see traces of fingerprints on silver numbers. It looks like there are 7 digits.
This type of lock usually requires an 8-digit password. It seems like the number 8 appeared twice in this password.
How does he know? Why? Why?
If you look carefully, the fingerprint on 8 is clearer than the others. Yet, there is some overlap. Don't you think it looks like it was pressed twice in a row?
You make some sense. How can we determine the order of these numbers then? Omu doesn't answer me. Instead, he looks at the fingerprint on the tape a few more times.
I usually need to perform a few more procedures, but I don't think I need I need to this time because this password is a birthday.
Oh. After he typed something quickly on the keyboard, I heard a click that sounds like something opening. Siri then pushed hard on the warehouse door and opened it halfway.
Do you now understand why various apps don't let you use birthday as password?
I nod to express my understanding, but it's really convenient to use your birthday as your password. True. We are dumbfounded as soon as we enter the warehouse. Who would have imagined that the goods stores in this warehouse would be so valuable? There are another door in this warehouse, as well as another security guard who is sitting behind the desk at that door. He is munching on a chicken drumstick in his hand, seriously, when we enter the room. The moment he raises his head and meet our eyes, his eye glaze over for a moment. After that, he reacts quickly, holding up the drumstick with one hand and quickly reaching for the walkie-talkie on the other side of the table with his other hand. Siri reacts quickly, dashing forward with a quick step to strike him with a blow as fast as the wind. After the security guard falls over, she kindly cushions his head with her foot before he hits the ground. Oh, yasashi. Do people really knock people out with the karate chop like in the movie? I don't know, because I hit them with the handle of my whip. I look down at the security guard, who is now lying peacefully on the ground with his eyes closed. And the dirty drumstick that fell on the ground before it could be put away, shedding some insincere tears for them in my eyes. Chicken drumsticks. After Romo closes the warehouse door, he walks over and looks at the security guard on the ground.
Let's finish this as soon as possible. There'll be trouble when he wakes up.
As he speaks, he searches the security guard and finds an access card. He then walks up to the door behind the desk and swipes the access control system on the wall next to him. The door opens with a click. When we walked in, I find that my experiences are indeed useful. There really are lots of valuables stored here. There are safes lined up in a row here, and Shinchukara is here. If Shinchukara is here, even he would know that it's not possible to store two red crowded cranes here. It seems that we entered the wrong room. No, I chose the wrong room. Let's try another door. I just knew I wouldn't be lucky enough to pick the right one on my first guess. The security guard who was eating the drumstick still unconscious when we go back the way we came, and we walk around him to the door. Omu quietly opens a crack in the door. After seeing that nobody's here, he motions for us to quickly slip out and run to the door lock with a chain on the left. Omu takes a toolbox out of his backpack. After he opens it, I see all sorts of tools, ranging from slender steel wires to various types of screwdrivers. He picks up two slender steel wires and inserts them into the keyhole, unlocking the lock after fiddling around with them a few times. Omu catches the slip chain quickly with lightning fast flexes so that it doesn't fall onto the ground and attract the security guards. The problem with this kind of a lock is that once we enter this door, the security guards will definitely know it has been opened the next time he patrolled this area.
If that happens, there are only two possible outcomes. Either the security guard locks it again from the outside, trapping us inside, or they will notice that someone has entered the room and enter it to catch us.
I prefer the second scenario because I'm confident in my fighting skills. I'll be more troublesome if we're locked inside.
It won't be a big problem. Before coming here, the boss and I agreed that I'd send him a text message every half an hour. If we don't leave this place within 2 hours, or if we don't send him a text message within half an hour, he will assume something has gone wrong and come here to save us. However
what?
If that happens, both sides will suffer great losses. People are bound to get hurt or die in the fight.
Oh my god. Please don't make something so terrible sound so commonplace. Now that Somu got on back, we better not waste any time here. Let's try to find the red-crowned crane before we get caught. Well, if we can complete our mission before we discovered, we can avoid having any direct conflicts. The scene that greets me after I push open the door and enter the room is not what I expected. I quickly estimate that the empty room has an area of around 200 square meters, and there's a door on the wall opposite us. On the floor there are some marks leading to the door. Siri kneels down to check this out. This look like they're dropping for some kind of bird, but I can't tell if it's from the red-crowned cranes. This is a good sign. At least we have a direction now. We run towards the door on the other side. The door is also locked with a chain, which is completely affected to Omu. After we entered the next door, we found ourselves in an empty room that is about 200 to 300 square meters big. The only difference is that there are two doors, one on the wall in front of us and the other on our right. And there is something that looks like the dropping we saw earlier on the floor, leading to both doors. Oh my gosh. We found its trial again, but there are two trials this time. Could this be some kind of trap? Siri walks over and inspects them carefully. This shouldn't be a trap. The droppings are darker on one side. Judging from the dryness, these droppings have been here for longer. The dropping on the other side are still semi-dry, so they should be relatively fresh. It looks like both directions may lead us to animals, but I'm not sure which direction is the right one.
Time doesn't wait for anyone. Let's pick one randomly and see where it leads to.
I think Omu makes a lot of sense. We won't get anywhere just by standing here, so I choose semi-dry. I look down at the two trials of dropping and suddenly have a bold thought. It's been several days since Siri rescued the red-crowned crane. Is it possible they might have moved from their original location? Why don't we take a look at the right side? Omu rushes over and opens the lock. I open the doors and find that it's completely dark inside. Before my eyes can adjust to the darkness, the smell of bird feathers mixed with dropping assaulted my senses. After Omu turns on the torch of his mobile phone and waves it around a few times in this room, the originally quiet warehouse is filled with the sound of chirping birds and wings flapping violently against cages. Siri walks over to the wall and fumbles around before finding the light switch. We are shocked by the scene in front of us after the lights are turned on. There are hundreds of different birds in cages of various sizes. It's impossible for the three of us to save all these birds. Omu looks at the flock of birds in front of us and frowns. Then he turns to look at me.
Can you find those 2 red-crowned crane? Let's save our target first.
Red-crowned crane may have very obvious characteristic. Let me see. I move quickly through the various bird cages. It looks like people don't clean them every day, as the aisle between the cages are filled with feathers and droppings. This shows that these little ones are living in a terrible environment. Ah! I found them! In a large cage on the inner side, I see 2 particular conspicuous loads of red. I walked over and see that there are many birds inside this cage. Most of them have tattered wings and 2 red-crowned crane among them. Just as I am about to call Siri over, I notice that she's constantly checking the status of the other birds in various cages. Siri? I don't think we should just save the 2 red-crowned crane. All the lives here belongs to nature and shouldn't be used as capital in human transactions. But if it's just the 3 of us... Suddenly I remember that the police gave me the mobile number that I can use to contact them if I discover anything. Somu warned us earlier that any rush actions we take may make the other party kill all the hostages. So I was thinking of saving the little red-crowned crane before making a police report. It looks like I'll need to bring this plan forward now. Siri, I don't think the 3 of us can save all these birds. Even if nobody stops us, we still wouldn't be able to move them out of here. Why don't we let the police deal with this? After all, we have sufficient evidence right now. That's what I was thinking. I should have thought of this earlier, since this is a gang that specializes in wildlife trafficking. There's no way they will only catch a few animals, especially when they have rented such a large warehouse. We all be nervous these days, so nobody really thought about this carefully. Yeah. Siri suddenly falls silent while I'm taking photos of it as evidence to send to the police. I look up and see her staring behind a pile of bird cages. She motions for me to be quiet just as I'm about to ask her what's wrong. Shush. Listen carefully. Can you hear the sound of the bird of animals?
Isn't this place filled with animals?
No, not birds. It's the sound of beasts. It sounds really familiar. It sounds like a young cheetah calling for help. I hold my breath and listen carefully. Sure enough, amid the chirping of birds and flapping of wings, I heard some subtle cat-like calls. Siri rushes over quickly and finds a door behind the birdcage. After pushing them aside, the door is not locked, it's just ajar. Light fills the room after she pushes the door open, revealing a cruel scene to us. Oh no. There is a group of mammals in this warehouse. Unlike the birds outside, they seem to have been locked up here for a long time. They are so skinny and they look like skins and bones, and their fur has no luster. Oh my gosh. Siri turns on the torch of a mobile phone and looks through the cage. cages while searching for the origin of the sound. Eventually, she finds a thin cheetah that looks sick and in poor condition. After seeing Siri, it raises its head and makes a few weak sounds, which are the same as the cries for help we just heard. Siri circles around the cage, trying to find the lock to set it free. Suddenly, I heard a burst of footsteps outside and the loud shouting of security guards. Oh no.
There's an intruder, everyone! Come here quickly to search for them!
We immediately calm down and listen carefully to the movements outside. Judging from the footsteps and voices, it seems that all 4 patrolling security guards are coming.
Hey, this is warehouse number 2. We need backup.
Oh no. Someone's calling for reinforcement. We don't do anything, their numbers will keep increasing. Omo glances at his mobile phone and looks at us anxiously.
The boss told us to leave quickly. Several vehicles belonging to the security company are moving in this direction. Quickly! We have to leave now, or we won't be able to get away.
I pull Siri's hand and notice that she's looking at all these cages painfully. Omu, please take Yuki away from here first. Drag Siri away and leave everything to the police. Help Siri save the little cheetah and then break out of the enclosure. Okay, let's help her. I grit my teeth when I look at the little cheetah's moist eye and Siri's firm gaze. Omu, can you open the cage for us?
No wonder Shinjuku told me that life is filled with dangers when I'm with you.
After letting out another sigh, Omu comes back to us and helps us open the cage. Then before I can say anything else, he takes the initiative to open the remaining 7 or 8 cages one after another. However, the animals in these cages have been locked up for so long and don't dare to come out. Do they think we're with the bad guys who locked them in here?
Maybe, but at least they are free now. Whether they run or stay is something beyond our control since we're also in trouble now.
Siri is momentarily stunned by our actions, as if she can't understand why we will help her. However, the footsteps are getting closer and closer outside. Give us no time to explain. Siri pursues her lips and decisively, oh my god, place the little cheetah into my arms, and she grabs her whip and rushes forward. Follow me. Because it took a lot of time to open the lock of the cages, we run into the patrolling security guard right after we reach the entrance of the warehouse with the birds in there. Siri pushes me gently towards Omu.
Yuki, run!
Siri! Trust me, I can handle this. I look at the little cheetah in my arms. Its breathing is a little weak, so the best thing I can do is to run away with it right now. Almost very nimble. He stretches out his leg and trips one of the security guards in front of him, and he grabs me by the collar and rushes out. Behind us, I heard the sound of metal colliding, moaning, scolding, cursing, and the sound of a whip crackling through the air. I seem to have returned. At that time, I knew in the alleyway under the scorching sun when Siri fought alone against Shinjuku. But this time, she's not alone. We run back along the route we follow on our way inside. All the warehouse doors along the way are open, so we run to the outmost doors without any hindrance and end up face to face with a young security guard who is guarding the door. It is Boo, who was so scared that he couldn't get any sleep last night. As he sees us, he instantly takes out his walkie-talkie to try to notify anyone else. Suddenly, a wooden stick hits him hard on the back of the head. Duh! After the young security guard falls down slowly to the ground, I see Shinjuku standing there behind him.
This way, follow me.
Siri stopped fighting after we rush out of the warehouse. She shakes off the security guards and follow us. We follow Shinjuku and get inside a van parked on the side of the road. Shinjuku, you can't keep picking on the same poor guy like this. Look at what you've done to Boo.
You don't understand. Of course you gotta target the soft one. What's more, if people can keep exploring the same group of suckers, why can't I target the same guy once or twice?
I see a police car pass us as we reach an intersection.
We can relax now. That the cops up here will leave everything to them now.
Siri takes a little cheetah for me. She gives Shinjuku and the address to tell him to take us there. Shinjuku leaves after taking us to our destination, a veterinarian's clinic. Siri opens the door like she knows the place well. A glass-wearing female vet greets us, and Siri hands a little cheetah to her for preliminary inspection. This young cheetah is experiencing some stress reaction to its malnutrition. It could even have died if you didn't take it here in time. We'll perform some systematic inspection and emergency treatment. You can wait outside for a while. Siri and I sit in the reception room outside while we wait for the vets to treat the little cheetah. During this time, a nurse thoughtfully brings us some hot towels so we can wipe away the dust and dirt covering our bodies. Are you so worried about this little cheetah because of Mihiro? Siri first nods and then shakes her head, but does not say anything in response. After a long time, the vet comes outside and tells us that the little cheetah is fine and will need to stay in the clinic for an observation period for a few days. In front of me, Siri becomes visibly relieved, and I see a hint of relief appear on her tired face. Yuki, I don't know what to say in response to your question. If you're free right now, I want to take you somewhere. Sure, I'm free at any time. I never would have expected that the place Siri mentioned would be the street where Countless Spring is located. It seems like an important ceremony will take place here today, and both sides of the streets are filled with people. Countless Spring Geisha Parade will be held today, so it will be very lively. Follow me. She takes me through very small alleys. After we make our way back to the side of the road again, I see that we are in an excellent viewing position as I can see everything on the screen clearly from here. She was sitting behind the screen the entire time when we went to Countless Spring last time, so you probably couldn't see her appearance clearly. That person on the street is Kurone Tojo. I look where she is pointing and see a splendid dressed woman walking slowly along the street, catching everyone's attention. I pretty much guess the reason you've been following me everywhere this day. You want to know what I'm up to, right? It's most likely that you were asked to do this by someone close to you. Is it Sarah, Ryan, or someone else?
Haha, don't be nervous. I wouldn't have brought you here if I was bothered by this.
Then the reason you brought me here is?
I guess I want to clear up your confusion. We've been through a lot these days, so I think I can tell you some things about myself. The thing is, I was raised by a tiger and lived in the jungle until I was 8 years old. Sid found me and brought me back to human society. But deep in my heart, I've always considered beasts to be part of my family. That's why I often go camping in the jungle when I'm not performing to live together with them for a while. That's precisely because of this habit, and I learned about the existence of poachers. I've been fighting against various poachers all these years, but I don't have the power to stop many tragedies from happening.
Siri, you already done very well.
No, it's not enough. I couldn't protect my family, so when it broke apart, and I haven't been able to protect those innocent animals.
Having said this, Siri looked at Kurone Tojo on the street. Oh, that's a beautiful scene. Oh my god, she looks so sad.
Yuki, what kind of person do you think Kurone Tojo is?
She's so luxurious, elegant, and beautiful person.
Siri nods in agreement with my words. That's what I think about Kurone Tojo too. But whenever I make contact with her, I can sense the aura of a powerful beast on her. That aura is savage, mighty, and powerful.
That feeling doesn't seem very compatible with Kurone Tojo's appearance.
It is quite contradictory, right? But my intuition is never wrong, which is why I've been going to countless springs to get close to her. Beasts should act together with beasts, right?
After saying all this, she smiles at me.
Okay, you know all my secrets now. Can you make this our secret and not tell anyone else about this?
Not even the people of Seoul, right?
Yes. Taking this red-crowned crane incident as example, the things I want to do will definitely be dangerous. If the other members of Seoul find out, I will only put them in danger too.
I know what she's worried about, but I don't think she's right. Siri, I don't think you need to shoulder this burden alone. You should have me. Oh, you still have me. Siri looks at me for a long time after hearing what I said, and she mumbles something.
Maybe you're right. At least my experience over the last few days are telling me that it's quite nice to have a companion.
Suddenly, my phone started vibrating. I look at the incoming call and see that it's from the police officer I reported the crimes to.
Is this Yuki?
Yes, that's me.
Okay, you can relax. I'm just calling to let you know that we cracked down on the wildlife trafficking that you reported. Although several people are still on the run, we identified where they are with the clues we have, and they will all be arrested soon. We sealed the warehouse because it's suspected and harboring criminal evidence. All the animals inside the warehouse have been handed over to Wildlife Rescue Agency except for a few Tibet foxes that were too sick and no longer had any vital signs of by the time we arrived at the scene. As for the other animals, those two little red-crowned cranes you specifically mentioned before are safe, so don't worry. Alright, we also moved the red-crowned crane in Bear Blue over to the rescue agency with the other animals. If there's nothing else, I'll be hanging up. A silk banner will be sent to your home in a few days to commend you for your contribution to Wuhan City.
Eh? There's even a silk banner? Can you set it to so instead then?
So, is that the touring troupe?
Yes, I didn't do this alone. The honor belongs to everyone.
Haha, okay, I understand.
After hanging up, Siri gave me a confused look and I relayed the conversation the phone call to her. Siri covers her eyes with her hands and leans to the wall. Leans on the wall behind her. I can't see her expression, but I can tell she's happy from the raised corner of her mouth. After a while, Siri controls her emotion and reaches out to me with a bright and sincere smile. Yuki, I'm glad to be your companion.